First thing you do is open up a browser of your choice and go to usainnovation.org. And there it is. So first thing you're gonna have to do is log in with your email address and the password that I created and sent to you. So I'm gonna use my own here. So my email is that, and my password, and so there I'm logged in. So the first thing you're going to do, or the first thing I want to show you, is you can go to My Innovations. This is just your portfolio of innovations. You can see that I put in a couple previously, and this is where they would show up, just in list form. So what we're going to do is go to Start an Innovation Submission. And a quick thing I want to point out is that at any point on any page of this Innovation Marketplace, there's this button here for live support online. It's a great support team that's always available. As well, I'm available, 518-339-8690. So this just will explain the process. So we can just hit continue. Payment method, I'm going to be giving you a prepaid passcode where we can enter it. Also, this by default, it has to be public because it's a free passcode. This is the legalese stuff. You can read through that and then accept those. And this is the innovation questionnaire. So this is like the questionnaire that I sent you via email, but it's much more extensive. Some of the questions will be repeated. That was basically for me to get acquainted with your innovation, your technology. This is much more in-depth. As you can see, there's 8 tabs here. To submit your innovation, you have to fill out every question on every tab. A couple things I just want to point out. You can switch through the tabs in any order, really, but I recommend just going through in order, but you can pop around. Also, over here, it says Save Inputs, Save and Exit Input Page, Submit for Testing. That's only when everything's complete, or Don't Save, you know, if you're just testing it out and haven't put any info in. But save often. You don't want to get halfway through this thing and not have saved it, so please save often. And also there's these green boxes that you'll see throughout the questionnaire. This one says Get Expert Advice. This will either be a short video or audio file that will simply play and give you advice for that question. I highly recommend using these as much as possible. Also, there's examples. You see if you hit the example, it just gives you some information. And as I said, in this case, there's a small
innovation development status. This is the status as to which.
There's a small video that explains that question. Most of the questions in this questionnaire have this detailed text box after it. This is where you put in any information that explains the answer above it. Do not skip over these. Explain your answers. This is all about real reason to believe and being honest and truthful and upfront. If you don't know something, that's fine. Just put it down here. But there's also your opportunity to explain any information that is relevant to that question. So again, so you're going to go through. The other thing you're going to see a lot of for questions are confidence bands. Again, this is just to indicate your level of confidence with the answer that you've given. And this is important because this helps drive the sales forecast, which itself is going to be a confidence band interval. So obviously the more confident you are in your answers, the tighter that band will be. However, I do want to point out a quick thing. Unless you have a high level of proprietary protection, I believe it's either 4 or 5, you're not going to be able to put in confidence levels over 60. The point is if you're still in development phase, you don't have probably not going to have statistical measurements regarding a question. So it's just, you'll probably be unable to put those higher intervals. So again, the point there is to just be honest, be truthful, put in your rationale for that estimate, and there we hit save. And then you can move on to the next tab. And again, there's a simple list of questions. It's important to point out this 7B, this is the part I'm going to be helping you out with the most. This is the written description of your innovation. This is the pitch. This is the so what. This needs to be written so that anybody can understand it. Somebody that has no knowledge of your technology, of your science, all they want to know is who this is being sold to, why they should care the customer, what's the overall benefit, what's the real reason to believe, and how is this dramatically different? What makes this meaningfully unique? So we're not going to be putting technical jargon in here or abbreviations, things like that. This needs to be written conversationally in simple English language. This is one of the major determinants of the score, the Merwin score, that you get on the top right of that front page of the report. So this is extremely important. I'll be helping you with that, but I just wanted to point that out as well. And again, there's great expert advice on writing that. So you're going to go through each of these, fill them out, saving them as you go. You'll notice for the sales, see the sales inputs, there's going to be a conservative, most likely, and aggressive estimate for those numbers. And again, this is just to create that bandwidth. So you're not just going to be putting in a number, you're going to be putting an aggressive estimate, conservative estimate, and what the most likely estimate, and then your confidence level, and then details on the basis for the estimate. So if you have data, put it in. If you did a Google search, put in the link, wherever you're getting your information from. Coaching and payment, this is just where we'll put the prepaid passcode and you can finally submit down here. I also want to point out this collaboration. After you save your innovation once, you have this option to collaborate. I'm going to be a collaborator because I'm going to help with that question 7B. So I will have editing privileges. You see down here there's 3 levels. We're also going to add the CAT director with who put me in contact with you because he or she wants to have access basically to just view the report. So they're going to have basic access. So they'll, in the My Innovations tab, they'll be able to see all of the reports for technologies and companies that are working with his or her center. So that's very important as well. So we'll be inviting them. And that's it for the submission. I also wanted to point out real quickly, before you do that, it's highly recommended to go up here to free stuff. And here there's a business translation workshop. This is great. You can download workbooks, you can download draft sheets, print them out. And this is an entire workshop which I often do live, and this one is narrated by Doug Hall, founder and CEO of the Eureka Ranch, who has created all the technology we're using here in terms of the business simulation. So it's highly recommended that you go through these videos. Each one is about 10 minutes or so, and I'll give you a quick example, part 2, of what it looks like.
Okay, with innovations, here's the problem. Inventors speak technology.
So there's some videos that'll give you some great insight and advice into how to translate your